morning. Morning, guys. How's everybody? Susie Q. Wait, did you ever see that movie? Okay, I don't know you, Susie Q, but that was a movie I loved when I was a kid. I think it was like a made-for-TV movie. Oh my gosh, it was so cute. I definitely watched it when I was like not the demographic. I was like too young for it, but I loved it anyway. Good morning. Oh, this is full. Hey Liz. Is everyone excited for our new book today? Is everyone excited? It's kind of like a palate cleanser, right? Kinda. It's kind of cool. Fun. Exciting. Totally off topic. Matella's making toast. Oh, that's amazing. I didn't know that. That'll be fun. Maybe I'll get one for our daughter and put it in a box for her to have when she's older. Yes, we love the Marie mug. As like a collector's thing. Maybe I'll buy one and keep it in the box, you know? Still have Barbies in boxes. Yeah, I don't see why not. Your mug is so cute. Where did you get it? You know what? This was a gift from my friend Shira, but it is official Disney merch, so she probably either got it at Disneyland or on the Disney website because it does have the official symbol on it. So yeah, it was a gift, so I'm not 100% sure, but if I had to guess, I would say either Disneyland or DisneyParks.com is probably correct. I had the holiday Barbies that made me think about, yeah, I was a big Barbie girl, actually, when I was a kid. I was very into my Barbies. My mom did not make us keep them in boxes, although I do wish she had with some of them, but she was very into just letting us play, which was, you know, good in its own way as well. But I loved my Barbies, and I loved the little lives that I created for them. So, you know, I'm not against buying the Taylor Swift one and like putting it as a piece of decor in our baby's room. I've lived my friend's Barbie but never had any growing up. Is that because of where you grew up? They're worth nothing. So a few years ago, my girls and I opened them and I sent a video to my mom. That's actually really sweet. Yeah, my sister was the destroyer, you guys. My sister was the kind of kid who wanted to just destroy all the Barbies, and I was the like keep them pristine and perfect kid. My sister also just like, if she was given the option, she would just get a new Barbie because she had destroyed the other one. So we just had like a pile of destroyed Barbies in her room, and I only had like one or two Barbies because if we went and we were given she's definitely responsible for Weird Barbie. Yes, that is correct. Yes. My sister is responsible for Weird Barbie. But meanwhile, if we were given the option to buy something new at like a holiday or whatever, I didn't buy new Barbies. I bought new stuff for my Barbie. So like I wanted her to have the car and the horse and the house. I didn't need more Barbies. She just needed to have a life. You know what I mean? She did have friends, and I like had the sister Barbie and all that stuff. But I really wanted her to have like a life, and my grandma used to sew me clothes for my Barbies. So I have clothes that no one else has because my grandma made them for me, which was really cool. She would make her like pretty dresses and stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. I thought when I was little, I was like, oh man, this is it. I had American Girl doll and I was obsessed with it. Yeah, I was a Samantha girl. I I was definitely a Samantha. Who was everyone's American Girl? I was a Samantha for sure. We live near. Oh, that makes sense, Nikki. We live near an American Girl store actually, where they do like all sorts of crazy stuff. And we were looking at it, and we were like, oh man, we're definitely gonna be there in a couple years, huh? Samantha was my, yeah. I only had one as well, Amanda. We looked into the American Girls store when we had Zoe with us recently, and you were a Molly, yeah, and it was really cool, but like it's really intense in that store. Samantha was my favorite, and assigned me Molly because Reddit. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Well, I mean, Becca, a lot of people got them secondhand. Like I said, my grandma was making clothes for my dolls and stuff. But what I think is even crazier is that the American Girl store near us has a hair salon in it, you guys. A hair salon. I'm going to repeat that for you one more time so everyone can hear it out loud. The American Girl doll store has a hair salon in it for the dolls. And I was like, we can do the doll's hair at home. Like, I can do the doll's hair. I mean, like, they are literally, it's a hair salon, like with little chairs, and they have like curling irons, and it's wild to me. I was like, what is happening? It was so crazy. Like, what? I think they also have a hospital. I didn't know that, Liv. That's really funny. Wait, in case someone's little sister rips an arm off. Because my sister definitely would do that. You guys, I am all for creating a life in your mind for your toys. I am all about it. But I feel like a hair salon where you pay to get your doll's hair curled might be too far. It might be too far. It was cheaper to buy the doll than the hospital visit. At least they're keeping it real. I mean, it is true. It's cheaper to make a child than to take them to the hospital, right? Can they also apply for the mortgage in girl homes? Yeah, I mean, seriously. Like we were walking by, and I was like, originally I was like, oh, wouldn't it be fun one day we can have like a birthday party there? And then I looked inside, I was like, never mind, I don't think we can afford it. That was one of the fun things about having the American Dolphins doing their hair. Yeah. I mean, you know, at least she was doing her best, Becca. That sounds like she was trying. That's what I used to do with the kids that I nannied. I used to like turn their boxes into, or like boxes from shipments that we would get like my supplies for work in. I would bring them back and we'd make like a rocket or whatever. My daughter painted the baby's head. We bought a new one. Why didn't you just take it to the hospital? I don't understand. You could have it repainted. I don't understand, Amanda. You could just get your doll's head repainted. Obvi. One of the kids that I was nannying once tried to put eyeliner on one of her dolls. It was $100 to buy a new head. Oh my god, that's insane. Yeah, just buy a new doll at that point, right? $100 for a doll head. $100 for a doll head. You guys, this is highway robbery. I didn't look it up because I'm too scared, but I am going to look up how much it costs to get your doll's hair done just out of morbid curiosity. Because like, and somebody said it, isn't their hair plastic? Like, how are they using the curling iron? Do they have like a special non-heat curling iron or something for their hair? I don't understand what they're doing. It costs the same as an adult. Oh, jeez. I don't pay that for my own hair. Yeah, seriously. I don't understand. What is in my mouth? Sorry, that was gross. I don't understand how they're curling plastic hair. Like the braids and stuff, I get. Like that makes sense. You can braid anything, right? I just got my Ken Doll's hair did for $40. $40. It's synthetic hair, just like extensions. Oh, okay. I had a bistro in the Mall of America that I went to twice. I think the hair salon is designed to return a doll to their original look. No, the hair salon, the hair salon at the place that we go, they can choose different hairstyles. So like they have like, it's definitely not the original look of the doll for sure, because they have like curled hair the way that like my hair would get curled at the hair salon. They also have like fancy, excuse me, I had the hiccups, fancy braids. I'll start my own hospital. Yeah, exactly. Undercut them. Do it, Jack. Start a new one. Do it. Yeah. Yeah. It's so weird. I was like, wow, this is really into. They used to go to the shore in Chicago and it's almost there to return. Yeah, they must have changed it and updated it since then, Liv, because I went and looked at the like people their hair is getting done, because it is big, and there were like 8 different dolls getting their hair done at the same time, and they were all different, and it was definitely not how the dolls come out of the box. You can get braids and matching hairstyles. Yeah, you can get them to match your own hair now as well. It was wild. I don't even know how we got on this topic, but crazy. Absolutely crazy. Does your store have a restaurant? I think so, but we didn't see it. I think it's on a different floor. So we were trying to keep Zoe entertained while we were waiting for our ticketed time for the Bluey event. Yeah, we're still on dolls. And so we just walked in there to like look at dolls with her. And so we didn't go into the restaurant area, but I bet it's there. I'm not surprised that the food was not good, Amanda. That does not surprise me. But yeah, very interesting. Okay. So it's a brand new book today. No, that's good. No complaints. I had to Mom. Yes. They give you a seat that attaches to the table for your doll. That's hilarious. And then they bring mini flatware and fake food. I mean, I respect the commitment on some level, right? Like, I really do. Buy the doll and I'll send you all the accessories because I've been looking for a reason to get rid of them. That's hilarious. I just, it's just, both my daughters are so into it. We paid so much. I believe it, Ashley. Ashley, do you know how much the hair salon costs? We're legitimately curious. No judgment. We just have to know. It's more reasonable than you thought it would be. What is it, Becca? Did you look it up? Before we start reading, I have to know. If the remote control doll car. Oh, Zoe would love that because Zoe has a car. Guys, Zoe is spoiled. We learned this recently. Oh, it's $25 to get the hair done. Oh, you know what? That's less than I was imagining and less concerning than I was imagining. Yeah, you know what? I have to say, that doesn't bother me as much as I thought it was going to. This is how they get you. Oh, they got me. Did you see that? They got me. Ooh, worth it if it's an older doll. Yeah, huh, they totally just got me in. Huh. The secret husband, when we were talking about this, because we were talking about like, oh, what if we had a birthday party one day? He was like, are you telling me that I have to pay for 10 little girls to get their doll's hair done? I was like, ooh. I don't know. I was like, I guess it depends on how much of our introverted tendencies she takes after. Maybe she'll only have 2 friends. I don't know. We don't know how many friends she's gonna have. Yeah, exactly, Becca. Her and 1 friend. Yeah. If you need stuff, I have like 4 totes of AJ stuff. Yeah, I'm not sure. My sister is debating maybe getting Zoe an American Girl doll for Christmas, but it depends on if she's into dolls right now, but it depends on if she's still in, you know how kids are, right? Like they go in and out of phases, and she doesn't want to spend a lot of money if she like phases out of dolls. But Zoe
the thing that we were talking about, Secret Husband and I, with those kids is, and it's partly my mom's fault. This is not all Catherine's fault, right? So like, I don't want you guys to think that I'm mom shaming my sister. I'm not. I'm mom shaming my own mother here, because my mother as a grandmother cannot help herself. She has to shop for things for these children, right? And so every time she visits them, she brings multiple toys. And so they have too many toys. Like, they can't even keep up with them. We're like, Mom, it's too many. Last time when I was there watching, she came to visit, she came with 3 large shopping bags full of toys for 2 toddlers. I was like, bro, they're never gonna play with all of this. You know what I mean? Like, I need you to like slow it down so that they can like, but like, yeah, but the thing is, like, one at a time, right? I'm not saying that kids shouldn't have options for toys, but like, do we need to give them so many at once? You know what I mean, is what I'm kind of saying. And the problem is now their house is overrun with toys because my mom comes every week with new toys, and it's like, okay, we need to take a step back. Yeah, Sophie, I agree. But like, there's only so much room that you can put the toys in. And my sister's like, well, I never have to buy toys. At least there's that. You know, I'm like, oh, that's true. And my mom is already starting with our baby, and like, she goes shopping for her every week already, and I'm like, bro, she's only 17 weeks gestational age. We need to slow down. She's not even earthside yet, and she already has stuff. We need to like breathe, okay? Exactly. That's what I keep telling my mom. I'm like, you know, like, Zoe and Ethan are still gonna love you if you show up without a toys. It is generational, Ashley. I agree with you completely. But I keep trying to explain to her, it's like, their love is not contingent on you buying them things, though, right? Best advice is separate and trade the toys into batches. Yeah, she's got to do something, Destiny. She's got to do something. We get unboxings out of it. No, okay, yeah. Buying new stuff for a new baby is super exciting, and we do need to decorate her room. But like, she needs, exactly, Amanda, she needs to stop setting the expectation that every time grandma comes, there's gonna be a new toy. I don't think that like, I love my niece and nephew, but I definitely don't bring them toys every time I come, because like, I don't want that to be what they expect of me either. Like, it's like, it's more fun if they're like, oh, Aunt Sasha's coming, we're gonna have a fun day, you know, like, that's cool. And do I buy them presents like on special occasions? Of course. When we took them to the Bluey thing, did I let them each pick out something at the end of the thing because it was like Zoe's birthday party special thing? Of course. But they each got one thing, and Zoe really wanted to, and I said, I'm sorry, today we only each get one thing. You know, that's what's happening here today. We're each getting one toy from the Bluey experience, you know? And she really wanted to, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, sweetheart. Like, the deal was you get tickets to the show, and then you get one toy. You know, you don't need 2 toys. And she still plays with the one toy. All these months later, it was a bath toy, and she uses it every day in the bathtub. It's great, you know? My play ticket is my gift to you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's a gift to all of us, right? No, but that's real, but that's different. The toys from the Bluey live show was freaking expensive. They were expensive, Renee. They were. Yeah, and we're totally all about donating all the extra toys and everything, but I'm like, Mom, if every time you had the urge to buy them a toy, you even just put $5 in like a savings fund for them, when they graduate from high school, they'll be able to buy a car. You know what I mean? Something like, do that, right? Like, every time you have the urge to buy something for my daughter, put $1 in a jar, you know? And then give it to her when she turns 18. She'll appreciate that a lot more, and she'll remember that a lot more. That's kind of what my grandparents did. I know we need to start reading, but I only have like 3 gifts total from my grandparents from my whole life, physical gifts, right? Like 3 total gifts. But I will go to my grave telling every person on this planet that my grandparents were the greatest humans that ever existed. So my love for them was not contingent on the fact that they only ever showed up 3 times with a present. Those 3 were special, and they were pointed because they knew how much I wanted those things. All the other things they did were putting money away for my college fund And that meant a lot more, because when I was in college and I was struggling, like, it didn't just feed out to me anytime. Same, Ashley, same. And my grandparents had this thing, and when I was like 25 and I was like really struggling, I was able to take out a little bit of the money that they had left for me and pay my rent. You know what I mean? And like, that meant so much more in that moment, because they were gone, but I was struggling, you know? And I was like, now I can pay rent. Thanks, Grandpa. You know what I mean? Like, whoa, he really did me a solid, you know? And it didn't matter that he didn't buy me toys when I was little. I still loved him when I was little. You know what I mean? And like, the only toys that I had from them, I still own. I kept those 3 things that they got me. You know what I mean? Because they were so meaningful. Because it was like, oh, if Grandpa bought this, it must mean something. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I have it looks like I have a lot of stuff in the house because I work from home, so I have like all my supplies here, but I'm kind of minimalist in like what I buy. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, let's just read, because I've gone on enough of a diatribe about buying things for children. Now, please don't think that I don't buy gifts for my niece and nephew. You all know that I do. Like, you know, gift giving is my mother's love language. It's the only thing she knows. Like, it's the only way she understands how to say I love you. Like, it's like a thing. And I think Ashley's right. There is something in this like first generation immigrant thing, and it's like a part of like, oh, we have something now. We came from this poor country where we were literally scraping by, and now we're not scraping by, and we can feed our children so easily now. Like, it's not a struggle to feed them anymore. So now I have to give them everything. You know what I mean? I think Ashley's right in that regard, because my mom is a first generation, you know, and so it's like, they just, you know, they're not struggling. So they're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I thought a lot about it, and I really think that's it, because it doesn't bother me so much, Ashley. I just worry about it. Sorry if this has been said, my attention split, but I encourage them to give gifts of experience. Agreed. Yeah. The thing with my mom, Ray, is that she's too old for that. Like, she can't really handle doing those things, and she wants to be there for the gift. So like, she doesn't want to give them a ticket to the zoo knowing that she can't walk around the whole time with them, because she's almost 80, you know? And I get that from her. Unfortunately, this is something I'm trying to overcome myself. I grew up without much, so yeah, Becca, I get it. So now you want to spread the wealth, right? I get that. I totally get it. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna try to tell my mom. Well, you have so many kids, Becca. It's a little different. Worry is a better word. I didn't see. Yeah, worry. Yeah. No, Ashley, I totally get what you're saying. I think we're right. I think we're all kind of like in agreement. I don't think anyone in here doesn't agree with this like concept. That's how I am. I struggled so much when I left home that I don't want my kids to know that struggle. Yeah, I think that that's a very real thing. I just always try, like, I've always seen my grandparents as kind of like the pinnacle of what good parenting is. Like, hi Kay, we see you, honey. I've told you guys some of the stories about them, but my grandparents were like I know nobody's perfect, right? Nobody's perfect. There is no perfect parent. There is no perfect parenting. But with the circumstances they were given, they made about as good of choices as you possibly could. And don't think that they didn't give their kids things, because their kids were a little spoiled too on some level, right? But like, I watched some of the stuff that they did, and I'm like, that's good. And my mom would always tell me, like, she and her sisters never saw their parents fight. They just thought they never had an argument because they never saw it, because they made a concerted effort to go in another room where the kids couldn't hear them anytime they were arguing. You know what I mean? Things like that. Like, they were really specific about those lines. And we're talking about the 40s, you guys. Like, they were like way ahead in this like mindset of that way of being, you know? Jonathan just saw my phone and he goes, Mom, is that, oh, hi, sweet boy. How are you, baby? So I'm always trying to kind of at least emulate part of what they did, because they did such a good job. You know, there was a moment when my stepfather, who was not a great person, was trying to put my grandfather down after his passing. Like, he was literally trying to hurt people by saying something negative about my grandfather post-death, which is, by the way, a shit thing to do. Like, who does something like that? But what he said to put my grandfather down was, he didn't raise 3 daughters, he raised 3 men. And everyone's response was, he raised 3 women who didn't need 3 men. And I always love that, because it's like, he was trying to put my grandpa down, but in the end he actually ended up complimenting him because he raised 3 self-sufficient girls, right? And so I'm always like, you know? And so I always try, and I always look at my grandma and I'm like, she was so wonderful and so soft, but also so intelligent, and so like made herself educated as an adult. I don't know, I just really, I want to do it their way, I guess is what I'm saying in the end. I'm going to do my best to copy them to the best of my ability, with my own flair, of course, you know. But I tell you what, if my kid wants to teethe on a stalk of broccoli, they had me teething on broccoli and it worked. There's literally a video of me at teething age just gnawing on a stalk of broccoli, and they were like, this is what we do in Italy, I don't know. It's true, you guys, you don't have to buy a fancy teether. You can give the kid some veggies as long as they're too big to swallow. If the kid can't swallow it, it's not gonna hurt them. That's a fact, and broccoli's good for you. If you can have solid food, you can have broccoli. And apparently it feels really good on their little gums because of all the little, like, you know? It's cheaper than a teether, you guys, I'll tell you what. Nobody likes the stalk anyway. No, they gave me the whole thing with the, like, florets and everything, because if the little florets fall off, they're so small that, yeah, they call it baby-led weaning now, but to Italians, it was just giving the babies food. There was no name for it. They were just like, we're eating broccoli, have some raw broccoli. They gave it to us raw, because then it wouldn't mush, it would stay hard, and you could just, you know, like literally gnaw on it, and it would just rub against your gums for that like good feeling or whatever. Listen, I'm not against the old school Italian ways, that's all I'm saying. I'm into it. But let's read this new book, because we've gone on enough of a tangent about babies and grandparents and all. Listen, all grandparents who want, okay, this is the final thing I'm gonna say on the topic. I'm actually in a lot, yeah, I'll take, which one are you giving me, Becca? Yeah, exactly, Grace. A lot, oh yeah, they didn't do that, Amanda. They were very strict about stuff like that. A lot of, I'm in these like due date groups or whatever right now, and I see a lot of, which one, Becca? I see a lot of people complaining about different situations in their life, and the one thing that I will say about grandparents in general is any grandparent who wants to put effort and love into, oh, I'll take her, send her over, into their grandchild is a win. You know what I mean? As long as they're not hurting anybody. Like, my mom's not hurting anyone by buying extra toys, so I'm not saying that by any means. So all of these grandparents are lovely. There are so many absentee parents and grandparents. I'm thinking about it, Ashley. I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely thinking about it. There are so many absentee parents and grandparents. Whatever version of grandparent they decide to be, if they want to be involved, you're a winner already in my book. I'm just hoping to guide my mom towards the put some money in a jar rather than buying too many toys. Because she doesn't even have the extra funds. I'm like, you don't have to buy stuff, Mom. We'll still love you. It's okay. I had to leave because I was kicked out. Guys, some of these due date groups are a little bit concerning. I'm not gonna lie. We'll talk about this another time, but I've got stories and they're not all good. But let's read. Okay, so today we are starting, sorry to anyone who's watching this back. This is the author's note from, it's so true, Claire, it's so true. So we're reading Love and Other Conspiracies by Mallory Marlowe. It's a rom-com. It should be funny and fun. And this is, exactly, Amanda, that's a great choice. This is, I guess, our like palate cleanser. We just read something pretty heavy in the whole Scientology thing. I do not anticipate this being heavy because it's sold in the rom-com genre. So if it's heavy, I don't know what they're doing. I met the author at the LA Times Book Festival, which is why I ended up pre-ordering it. She was lovely. We were in line for a panel together. This is her first published book, which is very exciting. It was not her first finished book. Like many of us, it takes a long time to find success as an author. So I'm really happy to be supporting you know, a new debut author and she's in the middle of writing her next book. So if we love this, we'll support her and read the next one. If we don't love it, we'll be gentle and kind and move on. That's kind of my, you know, maybe your mom will also be receptive of useful things. Maybe, Becca. That's a big maybe. So this is the author's note from Mallory. Love and Other Conspiracy Theories is a romantic comedy with humor, hijinks, and a guaranteed happily ever after. We love it already. However, it does also contain the following themes and content: overcoming past toxic relationships, workplace harassment by an ex-partner, the past death of a parent from terminal illness, mentions of caretaking for an ill family member, discussions of depression, recreational alcohol and marijuana usage, sexual content and language. For anyone who may be sensitive to these topics, please read with care. Those are all great. It's all good to know. There are a lot of us in this group that dealt with a lot of those situations, so it's good to know. Yeah, it's always good to have those disclaimers. That's hilarious, Amanda. To know up front that we're going to be, so if any of those things feel triggering to anyone, I think a lot of us have dealt with a lot of those situations, but in the context of this, I think, especially considering we've heard about a lot of those things in memoirs, I think in the context of fiction, we generally are okay. And it is a rom-com, so even though those things are mentioned, I anticipate it not being too heavily involved, but that is the trigger warnings just in case. So there you go. So now, chapter 1. Los Angeles is a city of believers, whether it be the belief that you'll wait on the right producer's table at the right time and land that big break, or there'll miraculously be no traffic on the 405. That's never gonna happen. Everyone has something that they believe in with their whole being. Nearly everyone working at Scroll came here, and Scroll, just so you guys know, is spelled Skroll, so it's like a scroll and scrolling, but like funny. Nearly everyone working at Scroll came here believing in their shot at 15 minutes of internet fame that the company all but guarantees. For them, it's clearly just another day at the office. Interns chatter over catered lunch, a member of the video team skateboards through the stark white open concept office, and me? I wholeheartedly believe that I am about to get fired. Can we chat? Ooh, few phrases strike fear into my heart the way "can we chat" does. It's not good when it comes from a partner or parent. It's even less fun when it comes from my boss. Chloe's less of a boss and more of like a cool older friend who sometimes offers me raises and put my name on org charts under Scroll, that Scroll undergoes yet another reconstructing. She joins us producers for drinks and always compliments my blue hair, noticing when I touched up or experiment with the shade. But Chloe also does have the power to fire me. Today, it wouldn't shock me if she did. After a month and a half of busy work, instead of producing what I was hired to do, I'm just expendable. Do you think the hashtag Nora Licks or Licks with Mora will sell more of these guys? What? I yanked myself from a bout of shaking hands and churning stomachs to answer my coworker and recent roommate Nora. She taps hesitantly at her keyboard, writing and deleting the hashtag several times. I glance at her screen. In the wild west that is millennial startup culture, deciding how to sponsor and market fake rubber tongues to lick cats with does demand serious consideration. This is too real already, you guys. That's hilarious. Her roommate is... It's amazing. Except right now, my brain is a broken record of "can we chat? Time to pick up your desk now, and do you have any retail experience?" Oh, gosh, I didn't think that was a triggering question, she says when she sees my face. Hallie, are you okay? Or it might be Haley or Hallie. I'm actually not sure. It's Hallie. Let's call her Hallie, because that's more fun than Haley, and it reminds me of The Parent Trap. Nora's screen shows a thumbnail of where she and Amita, one of our other coworkers, are corralled by an army of kittens with said licking tools between their teeth. And I think these cats look more nervous than anything, but at least Nora has something to do, while other staff producers and contributors spend their 9-to-5s making clickbait videos and writing fun listicles. I've spent the past month and a half logging video stats and online traffic reports because that's all there is for me to do. It's far below my pay grade and producer job title, but since my plans to produce one of Scroll's most hyped shows were derailed, I feel lucky to be hanging onto their payroll even by a thread. I think her name is pronounced Haley, but we can do Hallie. I think I'm going to do Hallie. It's more exciting. Chloe wants to talk to me, I said. Oh. Nora nips at her bottom lip and traces her finger on the flower inked on her wrist, a nervous habit of hers. She embraces the quirky tattoos up and down her arms and is constantly tipping her mousy brown hair with bold and bright colors. I've never seen her in business casual, always in trendy crop tops and high-waisted shorts, fun rompers, and overdramatic shoes. There's no part of Nora that is afraid to be herself. Meanwhile, lately, every part of myself feels like clothing that needs to run through the wash with fabric softener. Maybe she found another show for you? Doubtful. Nora doesn't refute my doubt because she knows I'm right. Instead, we just sit in silence and I bite the bullet. Yep, coming, I type. The second exclamation point feels excessive, but I blame it on my shaking hands. I stand and look out at the high-tech office in front of me. This office feels like home, and not just because of the horrifying amount of time that I spend here. No, spent here. 8 years ago, Scroll was just a little more than a pop culture news site full of listicles and personality quizzes. And now it's a multimedia conglomerate that could catapult random millennials into internet stardom over a single viral video. I didn't come to Scroll looking for my own fame, but instead to be the one pulling the strings behind the scenes. I wanted to produce, and Scroll filled my past several years with late night shoots, the video team scrambling for fresh takeout after hours, and delirious foosball games while we spitballed ideas. And now I spent my days in the office killing time because one person decided that I didn't matter enough. Over the past 4 years, I worked my way up the video team's ladder from an office PA making coffee runs and ordering snacks for the office to associate producer, and then finally a real shiny producer. When Scroll began to dip its toes into video content and longer form series, it ran like a small, quirky movie studio. I brainstormed and developed and organized schedules and booked our studio and equipment and made sure that everyone showed up on time. I've helmed so many of those videos that I launched talent into the digital spotlight, and I was damn good at it. I meandered through the stark white desks and overpriced ergonomic chairs to Chloe's office beside the Doge conference room. She yells for me to enter after 2 knocks, and I shimmy my way in. Her workspace always manages to make a microwave meal smell like 5-star cuisine, seasoned with the light scent of nag champ. I don't know what that means. That must be some famous scent or something. Her cactus-shaped humidifier puffs, and I catch a whiff of calming lavender, but I do not feel calm. I am a bundle of shaky hands, impending boob sweat, and stress-induced eye twitch. I take a seat on one of her toadstool-shaped chairs, which she insists promotes better posture, but I slump anyway. She spins the screen out of the way as I offer her a meek wave. Hi. Hey, Hal. Glad you were available. So here's something that we should talk about. I can't read her expression. Is she letting me go? Am I getting put on a PIP where I have to log every minute of my day down to the time that I go to the bathroom? Sure. What is it? So, your show. Ugh, I furrow my brows. Do I have a show that I don't know about? Because she chews at the corner of her lip. Yeah, that's the part that I wanted to discuss. Okay, I say. We are full steam ahead here on the Scroll series program, and Kevin is funneling a good amount of our department funds into show budgets, and all of our current series are staffed. So I'm getting let go? Chloe sucks in a breath and does not reassure me. Well, that's what I'm trying to avoid. You are a damn good producer, Hallie, and I don't want to lose you. But if I don't have anything for you to do, it's gonna be hard to justify keeping you if layoffs do come. I need you to come up with a show for the program. The Scroll series program was like pilot season for web series. Each year, producers and on-camera talent would pitch their shows and record a pilot episode, and if it tested well with corporate, a trial for a season would be filmed. The chosen programs would receive a meager budget and a small gang of producers and assistants in the office, and then their stars would be catapulted to the digital spotlight in hopes of gaining the highest content engagement. Scroll fans tuned in religiously and engaged in fandom squabbles full of likes, comments, subscribes, in hopes that their favorite show would get a second season, full of a higher budget, higher promotion, and, well, hell, maybe merchandise if the show did really well. This year was supposed to be my first time competing as a lead producer. I laid out schedules, episode ideas, aesthetics, visuals for the team. Newbie Brothers would feature a group of newbie tabletop players fumbling their way through a game campaign. I'd be pulling every string behind the scenes, and I would claim that victory for myself, but I would never appear on camera. It wasn't about attention for me. Cade Browning, the on-screen ringleader, went viral one night, and unfortunately has yet to be cured. A single, silly video of him getting his chest waxed made him Scroll's resident clickbait snack. It's obvious why. He's the perfect cocktail of all-American boy with a little nip of edge. Blonde hair, blue eyes, and a dizzying smile. He can switch his personality at the drop of a hat, calculating and deliberate one moment, self-effacing and charming the next. Everyone fell for it, even me. I should have seen it coming when Cade swooped in like a hawk just days before my first solo-produced short went viral. Though, when you're 22, fresh out of school and determined to climb the ladder, the office heartthrob starts paying attention to you. You pay attention back. And when you're 22 and said heartthrob tells you how brilliant you are and flirts with you and suggests hopping in bed together, you do that too. When you're 25 and no longer the cute fresh meat that you used to be, and you end up logging traffic reports all day instead of producing a show. 2 months ago, I had a show, and I guaranteed the role for at least 6 months, and then Cade dropped the fatal blow. He thought a cozy night in with a bottle of wine and my favorite takeout would soften the hit that he didn't want me on the show anymore. But after I ended our relationship over it, he sure wasted no time slandering me to the crew. You're hard to work with. You just don't stand out. I need people with real substance on this show, people who matter. And now I'm an adrift producer without a show as my buoy. My pen drops off my lap and rolls under Chloe's desk. But me? A show? Yes. This isn't public knowledge yet, so don't say a damn thing, but Eric got arrested for public indecency at the Denny's down the road, so we won't be moving forward with his show. Shame. What the world truly needed was a web series where an F-boy calculated how many blunts it would take to blow certain objects. Eye roll. It was like Mythbusters for stoners. Which leaves an opening spot for the series program that we haven't filled yet. I don't even stop to think about if it's mine. It will be mine. There is a spot with my name and creative touch all over it from the get-go. If I create my own show, I'll not only get to reclaim what's mine, but I will compete side by side with Cade. And if I do this, I can beat his ass. No, I have to beat his ass. We're on a time crunch here, Hal. Get me an idea by the end of the week, and if we like it, you'll get to hustle to put a pilot together for the board. And if we pick up the season, then you'll get Eric's production budget and full use of our studios to produce your season. That doesn't really give me much time to come up with a concept, find the right talent, or convince them to hop on board with my half-baked idea. Shit, I'm gonna have to make a deck. I can kiss my bed goodbye for the rest of the week, but for the chance to shove my show as far up Cade's ass as it'll go on a strep test, I'll forgo sleep for as long as humanly possible to get back at him and prove to Scroll that I am useful far more than just logging metadata, although I would like to think I'm good at that too. My heart speeds up and my hands do begin to sweat and shake. You know what? You've got yourself a deal. Friday, I will have a show ready for you by then. That's what I like to hear. Show, beating Cade, winning. I just have no idea where to begin with this. I bumble out of Chloe's office in a haze, my brain operating like a too fast hamster wheel. I hadn't even thought over accepting Chloe's offer. I just did it. And now I have to follow through. The brain hamster's been flung out of the wheel by the time I return to my desk, and I slink behind my monitor. Are you good? Nora asks, and she flashes me a thumbs up and then a thumbs down. I provide her with a so-so motion. I'm good, but I need a show idea. That's when I realized I didn't grab my pen from the floor in Chloe's office. Damn it, you know what? I really liked that pen. A show idea? She yelps. Really? Yeah, by Friday. Nora immediately deflates. Oh, well, shit. I'll figure it out, I say, but I'm not even convincing myself. I don't even know where to start. You know what we should do? What? We should get high and watch Agent Cody Banks. Frankie Muniz really brings out my creativity. And then there's a scene break. I don't know about you guys, but I think this is hilarious already. I love her tone and I love her vibe, and I'm all in on it. There's a little more in the chapter, but I just wanted to say that in our like little scene break here. All right, so we did get high and watch Agent Cody Banks. A few hours and half a bottle of $5 wine later, when Nora's already gone to bed, I was deep in internet hell. I listened to podcasts, I watched vlogs, I hunted Instagram for charismatic influencers, and I only broke our brief... What? I only broke for our brief movie... Oh, I see what she's saying. I only broke for a brief movie break. I feel like I've consumed every bit of media under the sun, and yet I still haven't made a dent in my ever-growing list of TV show recommendations. But I slurp a chopstick full of noodles into my mouth as the alcohol hits me suddenly. The clock on my computer flashes 2 a.m. I will feel this in the morning, though I don't really have time for a hangover. I slip my headphones out of my ears and notice that the TV in front of me has descended into late-night madness. I'm an hour away from the impending infomercials for discreet adult diapers. I zero in on the screen as the show returns from a commercial break. Cosmic Conspiracies. Yeah, I've hit the middle of the night TV trash, all right. Animated planets whirl across the screen, and large-headed aliens bobble forward like unsteady bowling pins. Sightings of an ape-like creature has been reported on nearly every continent in the Earth, says an overdramatic narrator. From the Himalayan Yeti to the Florida skunk ape, the most famous of all beasts, of course, is Bigfoot. Cultures across the world tell stories of something that they can't explain lurking in the woods. Oh, Jesus. In ancient drawings, you'll find large, hairy creatures intermingled with humans. The show cuts to a portly British man. But if you look at the footprints, they aren't so different from ours. Could we be closer to Bigfoot than we actually think? Could Bigfoot even be an extraterrestrial from another planet? What the fuck? I mutter into my ramen. Yet at the same time, I suddenly understand how people religiously watch shows like this. I feel no urge to change the channel. Bigfoot's not real. Neither are aliens. But I have to know how they're going to justify this. Then a man far too hot to be offering any opinion on Bigfoot appears on the screen. He's young, probably like late 20s, with shaggy dark hair falling into the front of his face, a sharp, stubble-coated jawline, and a square pair of black glasses. His bright green eyes are ablaze with excitement and analytical seriousness that can't be feigned. Well, when we think about Bigfoot, he begins in the smoothest, sexiest voice I've ever heard. It's clear baritone, simultaneously soothing and commanding. The man is full of dramatic hand gestures to help him paint the picture. We think about a flesh and blood creature, not so different from ourselves. But when we think of aliens, we think of little gray or green men. Those are vastly different visuals. But the idea that Bigfoot could have come from somewhere else, or that he's not native to this world, raises the question, if we share genetic links with Bigfoot as we do with apes, what does that make us? Noodles drop out of my mouth. I choke on a bean sprout. The most handsome man I've ever seen has just publicly proposed that Bigfoot is an alien and that de facto we are aliens as well. And I'm effing enthralled with it. I rewind the clip to the man's name on the title screen. Hayden Hargrove, host of The Out There. I type The Out There into Google and it brings me to a website. I'm half expecting 90s HTML horror show, but it's sharp and professional and functional. It links to an active subreddit, a few news articles, and a tab called Critter Spottings that I am definitely too afraid to click on. I learned that The Out There is a long-running cryptid and conspiracy theories podcast with an alarmingly large fan base consisting of many teenage girls. A quick look through the Tumblr tag is full of edited photos and their swoon-worthy host in flower crowns. Looking at the headshot of Hayden at the bottom of his website, it's clear why he gets attention. He sits behind the microphone in a small, dimly lit recording studio mid-narration. For someone who exists mainly behind the mic, he has the magnetic enthusiasm and passion of an on-camera personality. This is what Skrull needs. Skrull needs a hot monster hunter. The Out There, episode 187, Encounters with the Men in Black. On this week's episode of The Out There, Hayden digs into mysterious history of the fabled Men in Black. He breaks down the myths and the rumors lurking in the shadows and talks with an anonymous tipster who had a recent run-in with the suited saboteurs. And now this is like, it's written like it's the show notes. So Hayden says, "So, you mean to tell me that the person who harassed you wasn't Will Smith?" Redacted name. No, I can confirm that the man in question was not the star of any major film franchise. Hayden, I figured redacted, nor the star of any minor film franchise. Hayden, perfect. Yeah, that was my next question. Whenever someone sees something mysterious, I like to make sure it's neither an A-list actor or a C-list actor was responsible for it. For the new kids here, the Men in Black are allegedly government agents that tend to appear following an alien or UFO sighting in effort to keep witnesses quiet. They often rely on intimidation techniques, but in a few cases they've done things that are a little, shall we say, out there. What was your experience? Redacted name. Redacted name. Well, I was driving home one night when I saw a disc with a lot of lights in the sky flying above my car. I had never seen anything like it. At first, I thought that it might have been a plane going down and I was ready to call for help. I pulled over and started taking pictures. I didn't get very many good ones, but a few of them were good enough to put up on Facebook. My mind, so X-Files and the Wild Thornberrys. Yeah, kind of. Hayden. So you can just call it Facebook. There's no need for the anymore. Redacted. Well, the pictures got taken down quickly the next day, and this man showed up at my house. He was dressed in a suit and tie, a hat, and suspenders. Hayden. I mean, aside from the clothing, what did he look like? There's some theories that the Men in Black are actually aliens themselves, that there have been descriptors mentioning glowing eyes, pale skin, no hair, and features that almost look like painted on. Was that your experience too? Redacted. No. They didn't look alien. He looked like a man, very clean cut and normal looking. He told me to delete the pictures off my phone and never talk about what I'd seen again. At first I refused because I knew it meant I'd seen something good, you know what I mean? And then he kept showing up outside my home, outside my work. My wife kept wondering why this other man was standing outside our house all the time, asking for me. I didn't know how to explain it to her, and it really harmed our marriage. I think she suspected I was having an affair. Hayden. Yeah. If I explained that to my hypothetical wife, I wouldn't really bank on her believing it either. It's like Jake from State Farm, but with aliens, right? See, when I got my visit from the alleged Men in Black, I think I accidentally scared him away. Redacted. Well, then consider yourself very, very lucky, my friend. The Out There theme music plays. Hayden. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of The Out There. A few quick updates before we get started. I did a little bit more research on that Fresno Nightcrawler sighting I got a tip about last week, but I haven't been able to turn up any other eyewitnesses or recent sightings, so unfortunately this trail does go cold for now. I will keep an eye on it, and if anyone has any other information or info to report, you know where to send it. There is an escalation on last week's Florida Man headline, and it's wild, guys. Here it is. Quote, in a bitter HOA battle, Florida man claims that Bigfoot put an unsanctioned lawn flamingo in his yard. And the HOA lobbed hefty fines at this Florida man, but lawyers are now involved after a 12-foot skeleton decoration from Home Depot appeared in the man's yard overnight. His defense is that a 5'4" and 150 pounds that he is, he's not capable of carrying or constructing a skeleton himself. So naturally, the only other option was that Bigfoot did it. But I did find several recent uptakes in Sasquatch sightings in northern Florida, so we can't really rule it out. I'll do the responsible thing, and I will keep up with the story and keep you all updated. On that note, this week's episode is sponsored by BeatBuds, the headphones that go where you do. I spend a lot of time on the phone making this podcast happen, and having a Bluetooth headset lets me do my job while on the go. It makes that possible. Click the link in our show bio and use the promo code OUTTHERE for 20% off your order. So now that's out there. Let's get into Say So. If you saw something you couldn't explain. That's pretty funny. That was chapter 1. I think it's funny. I think this is gonna be good. I think we're gonna enjoy these characters. They seem like they're entertaining. I get it. It's fun. Yes. Yeah, it's very sweet. It's very funny already. Yeah. I think I like her tone. I like her voice. I'm already into it. I'm already invested in the characters, and I think it should be funny. Plus she has blue hair. What could go wrong? I know that a couple of the rom-coms we've started recently have been serious duds, but this doesn't feel like that. This feels like it's way better written than a couple of the ones we started. So I'm definitely going to give it a thumbs up in that regard. You don't have to do that, sir. You don't have to do that. Yeah, it's pretty great. Yeah, From what I understand, having spoken to Mallory when we were in line for that thing, she works as a lower level producer in reality TV. So I imagine that a lot of her experience went into explaining this. That's why it feels a little less star-studded and a little more like real. They're putting new phone lines in the lawn. That's what I heard at 7 a.m. Oof, that's terrible. I thought that beeping was in my house. No, it's here. Too many kids. I ordered a pack of headphones that teachers buy. Yeah, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. Backing up all the way to my bedroom window. Terrible. So I expect that we'll have a pretty good experience reading this, since she's using real life experience as the job part of it, which is good. I guess she still has that job because, as we've all, well, not as I have learned through research, just because you get a major publishing deal does not mean that you have enough money to quit your regular job and just write all the time. So she still works in that. Tree trunk is gone, so we can mail tomorrow. Maybe, no guarantees. So I will be on in a little bit to make some clear base. I realize I don't have clear base that I need to have for tonight's roll for slime. So I will be on to make clear base. I already have white glue base, so that's no problem. And then we will have roll for slime tonight. That's pretty much the whole kit and caboodle. So I will see you all tomorrow, of course, for more book. I'm glad that we're all in agreement that it's pretty funny and enjoyable. And I don't understand how the Patreon lives work. I tried yesterday. Sophie, when you go on Patreon, yes, Mary, there is. You can go to the website and grab that. If you go to the website, when I post the link, you can either click on the link and watch it through there, but then you won't be able to comment, and you can't watch it through there if it's after dark. If it's after dark, you have to copy the link. So a lot of people got confused about this, even though I was trying to explain, I didn't explain it well. If you see the link on Patreon and it's like the play screen, you have to click on the 3 little dots in the corner and say copy link, and then you have to go outside of the app because Patreon does not connect to your YouTube account because they're not linked, and you have to be logged in to do the Patreon lives because you have to be in an 18 or over account to come to the After Dark lives, and tonight there will be After Dark. So you have to copy the link and go out of Patreon to be able to do that. Plus come to YouTube anyway. The Patreon experience is for, yeah, exactly. Well, Becca, I think it's different because you have a different kind of phone. So for anyone with an iPhone, this is definitely how you have to do it. I've been posting the link both on the main page and in the chat, so just make sure you copy the link and go to either a browser or YouTube and paste the link there, and that is how you will be able to see it. And it definitely does work because, like, our last roll for slime, we had a ton of people in there, so it definitely does, that process definitely does work. But you have to click on the 3 little dots and do copy link. Yeah, they change the Patreon app all the time, and it's just, what are you gonna do? Like, for example, yesterday's wasn't age locked, so you could just watch it through Patreon, even though it's not a great experience, but the age locked ones you have to leave the Patreon app for and go to the YouTube app because you have to be logged in to an 18+ account for After Dark. So that's the whole kit and caboodle. I will see you. Yeah, no problem, Sophie. And you can always go back and watch the other ones, the same process. They're all still available. They don't go away. They live on the YouTube account forever. And you can, watch them and scroll through and do all sorts of fun things with those. It's still fun to watch some of the funny roll for slimes that happen on those things. And we have that tonight. And I think I told you guys I am doing a slime station at someone's baby shower this weekend, so that's going to be hilarious and fun. It's a space-themed one. Speaking of aliens, it's a space-themed baby shower, and there will be kids at the baby shower, so I'll be running the slime station at the baby shower. Yes, space for grace. And that should be all fun and games, I think. I don't know. Should be silly fun. And I will see you all in a couple of hours when I get on to make clear base. I don't know exactly what time, but before roll for slime. Wait, who's shower? Just somebody that I know, that it's someone that I know from New York who now lives here and just wanted slime at her baby shower. My new name at work is Space Grace because we have 2 Graces. That's amazing. I fully support that. I fully support you being Space Grace. Yes. When I used to have my studio in New York, this person had a studio down the hall with her business, and we both left New York shortly after the pandemic, or maybe she left during it or whatever. And she lives here. She lives about 30 minutes from me. So she was like, I want slime at my baby shower. I was like, great, I can do that. So that's that. She is a little bit ahead of me in pregnancy. I think she is a month ahead. Her baby's due a month sooner, but she's having her baby shower pretty early. I don't really know why. I guess everyone does it differently. I think she's doing late December or early January. And maybe she just didn't want to do it around Christmas and the holidays. I do not know. Everyone is different. That's great. It worked out so your babies can be friends. I know, very sweet. She does not know what she's having. She's choosing to keep it a surprise until the baby is born. My sister, I have found out, is planning one for me, and we are having it over Christmas because Secret Husband's family will be in town, so they will be able to come. So mine will be about a month before as well. Did anyone here keep their baby's gender a secret from themselves before they had the baby? Like, even if you don't want to do gendered stuff, you did, Sophie? Like, the curiosity would just get to me, I think. Like, forget doing gendered stuff for their room. Put all that aside, because nobody has to do that. Catherine didn't do that for Zoe. She did all gender neutral stuff for Zoe, even though she knew she was a girl. But, like, I just think that the curiosity would just kill me. Especially for, like, names and stuff. Did you just have 2 names ready to go? Like, we found out as soon as possible. We had 1 girl, 1 boy already, so it felt like it was easier. That's true. I think I go crazy. That's what we were saying, Liz. Like, okay, so I don't know. I think I've told you guys that Secret Husband's, like, partner at work, like the person who has the same job it's a really big job, so it takes more than 1 person to do. His partner's girlfriend is also pregnant right now. They're due in November, and they're choosing also not to find out, and it's their first kid. And we were like, well, damn. And the thing about this one is kind of interesting. I'm all for doing, same, Becca, same, we do as well. Like I said, Catherine did gender neutral for Zoe. She did like jungle animals in Zoe's baby room. It was like yellows and greens and all that stuff. But because they've opted not, we sent a gift to his partner and his partner's girlfriend from their registry. We were like, oh, send it to your registry. They live in Canada, so we can't go to their shower or anything. So we were like, let us send something to you. We'd like to gift you something. Every single thing on their baby shower list was gray. And they were like, oh, well, we did that because we don't know what the gender is. Like, well, first of all, there are other colors that are not gendered. I mean, like, no colors are technically gendered. I mean, there's a lot of colors out there. But this baby's gonna live in a gray house. And we were a little bit like, huh, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, even if you don't want to do like pink and blue, there are other colors, right? Okay, look, I love gray as like an accent color, but do you want everything to be gray? I feel like babies am I crazy? Isn't it like a thing that babies need color? Or am I like a Looney Tune and they don't actually need color? Like, I feel like I would just be sad. Or maybe that's just because I'm a rainbow and I need color. Like, I can't live in a lack of color. Like, it makes me sad. Like, I get like if I have to be in a place with white walls, I get like a little bit saddie pants, like the equivalent of seasonal depression, but like house depression. Yeah, that's what I thought, Claire. And they were like, oh, well, we did that because we don't know what it is. And I was like, well, first of all, you can know what it is. Like, you could find out. But even if you don't want to, there are a lot of colors out there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, we're having a girl, but we're using sage green accents in her room, even though it's a girl, because it fits with our vibe, you know, and we have a lot of, you know, it doesn't all have to be gendered. So I don't know. I have a lot of feelings about that. They make bundles even for boys, girls, and neutral. Yeah. Maybe they have a lot of color after birth. Yeah, maybe. But I also like the name thing. Sophie, did you just have 2 names ready to go and you were like, okay, when they come out, we'll just give them whichever name goes? Or did you have gender neutral names, which do exist? I don't know. I don't know if I could go that long without knowing. I don't have it in me to wait. I know that about myself. We wanted to know instantly. We were like, the minute we were able to know. Maybe they want to buy fun colorful stuff. Maybe, but like, it was toys and stuff too, Becca. No, we didn't have any names picked out ahead of. Oh, okay. Well, that's different then. We had our names picked out. We had one boy name and one girl name already decided, and whichever it was already going to be. We had narrowed it down to one of each, actually. When my mom was playing that game where she was like, what if it's twins? We had to like go back and think about second names. Yeah, like the tummy time mat was gray. All their bath towels are gray. Their like blocks and stuff were all gray. I was like, are the parents colorblind? Like, what's happening here? My last two were named days after they were born. Really? Oh my gosh, we already call her by her name, and we already bought, at least it's not beige. Yeah, that's true. We already bought like name stuff for her. God bless this child if she comes out not looking like her name. Oh well, it's already your name. We're 17 weeks right now, and I've heard that 17 weeks is when they can start hearing you. So maybe she'll know her name when she comes out because we use it so much in the house. Maybe she'll already know. I showed you, Becca. I showed you didn't I show you the thing that we bought, Becca? I thought I showed you. The little name things for above her bed. I thought I sent you a link to it. I found all my babies grew into their names. Yeah, that's fair, Tiffany. That's fair too. I can send you a link also, Liz. I'm sad, beige mom. I love neutrals. Listen, I'm not against neutrals. I just think he didn't like us to call him back. Yeah, that's totally fair, right? Our baby has 2 middle names, so she has plenty of options if she doesn't like her first name. I am, Alexa. I am. We're almost halfway. She is almost halfway cooked. She's almost halfway cooked. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, our baby's room is gonna have some neutrals in it, especially based on the theme we have. There needs to be some to balance it, but like, wait, you wrote a book and you're having a baby? It's true, I did both. Everybody buy my book. She's gonna be a slime baby. She is gonna be a slime baby. She's a rainbow slime baby. So anyway, I'm gonna go and get started for the day. I will be back on to make base slime in a couple of hours after I get some other stuff done, and we got married. I will see you all for Roll for Slime tonight. You know what? Today, at least, they waited to start the construction until the book was done. We got to enjoy our book in peace. That's all I'm going to say for today. I wish I could see what they were doing. We have so many windows. You'd think that we'd at least be able to see who's making all this noise, but you'd be wrong. But I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.